Today is Saturday, June 16th, 2018. Hello, and welcome to Weekly Astrology Notes for the week of June 17th through the 24th, 2018. Highlights for this week. We have the Summer Solstice, and we'll take a look at the aspects at the start of the summer season. On Sunday, happy Father's Day. Moon in Leo makes it a day for fun and recreation. On Monday, we begin the work week with Moon in Virgo and Neptune goes retrograde. On Tuesday, first of 3 outer planet aspects for Mercury. We've got Mercury trine Jupiter, as Mercury is part of a grand trine as well this week that includes Neptune. So on Tuesday, it's very optimistic, positive outlook on life, very good time for business. And on Wednesday, Moon enters Libra and Mercury trine Neptune. Makes us poetic, dreamy, enlightened, inspired, able to think on different levels, not so mundane. We're interested in the non-material aspect of life, not so rational. It gets you in touch with your soul purpose. And then on Thursday, the summer solstice, as Sun enters Cancer. The big aspect on Thursday is going to be Venus opposition Mars. It brings a stronger than usual physical attraction to potential partners. And Venus in Leo really likes to dress up and look their best, so there's a lot of concern about physical appearance and desire to attract a partner. And with Moon in Libra, it looks like partnership is in season this summer. Well, that's good news. And then on Friday, Sun sextile Uranus. It's a day to do something different, meet some new friends, bring some excitement to the day. On Saturday, Mercury opposition Pluto, while the Moon is in Scorpio. Could bring some intense encounters, powerful exchange of words. And then on Sunday, the 24th, it's a day to reflect, with a long void of course, from the morning until past sunset. And at the end, a bit more about Nibiru, and then some info on Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain, and Hillary Clinton. Okay, so let's start with Sunday, the 17th, which is Father's Day. We have only one aspect, the Moon sextile Sun, and that's a good one. Creativity runs high, inhibitions subside, we're talkative and easygoing. A nice aspect for Father's Day, and then a void of course begins, and it continues until just past midnight. Moving along to Monday, the 18th, Moon enters Virgo just past midnight. We are more work-oriented for the next couple of days. Moon in Virgo is skillful, critical, and helpful as well, better at intellectual tasks. The focus is on hygiene, revisiting your health regime, taking good care of your body, eating right, getting proper rest, cleaning up your home environment, getting things in order. Lots of opportunities for material gain with trines to earth signs, Capricorn and Taurus, and could be a very productive next couple of days. And for gardeners, earth sign of Virgo is a good time to attend to your garden, but not the best time for planting. So we start in the morning with the Moon trine Uranus, and that's a trine from Virgo to Taurus. Skillful use of personal resources means there's opportunities for material gain, but you must take the initiative. Makes us ambitious. And then just after noon, Moon trine Saturn. Emotional fulfillment comes through attending to duty and responsibility. Makes us critical with good judgment, as well more for opportunities for material gain. And then Neptune goes retrograde in the afternoon on Monday. Goes retrograde from 16 degrees 29 minutes of Pisces down to 13 degrees 42 minutes on November the 25th. Now with Mercury and Jupiter forming a grand trine at the start of the retrograde cycle, that actually looks really good. In water signs, the trinity of the soul is activated and we feel a profound connection to all beings. Life feels like a spiritual journey, as it really should. This grand trine gives us a greater purpose, one that transcends the physical world, and it enables you to share your feelings with others. reclaim lost elements of yourself. It's a time of healing and soul regeneration. And then late in the evening, we've got Moon in Virgo, sextile Mercury in Cancer. Conversation flows smoothly. Another one that enables you to share your feelings. Something we're doing a lot of these days with Mercury in Cancer. Also gives us good judgment, and it's a good time for business. Moving along to Tuesday, the 19th. Just after midnight, we've got the Moon sextile Jupiter. So many good aspects for the Moon while in Virgo these days. So that one gives us skillful use of resources. Once again, enables you to take advantage of the situation, but you must be already prepared. You know, it's in Scorpio. You got to think ahead. You have to have proper hygiene, and that's a word that should be more associated with Virgo, and in terms of not just body cleanliness, but in terms of clarity of the mind as well, and things in your life not being messed up. So Virgo rules hygiene, and in order to take advantage of these beneficial aspects, a lot of which we're getting in with Moon in Virgo these days, you need to have to be clean mentally and physically. You may encounter some good ideas around this time to help you along that path. Things about hygiene, like your health, your diet, or some technique, even yoga, or things like that, to give you transportation to a more powerful state of being. And that really helps more than usual here, because I want to introduce the people to the idea that as well, during this time of Jupiter and Scorpio, and we've got a few more months of it left, we're all opportunists now. We're all looking to adopt the knowledge, methodology, tips, and techniques of successful people. You know, Jupiter at the end of its cycle starts a new cycle in Sagittarius, and in the last step, it's looking to fill in the missing places, things that we missed in our last growth cycle. So we're looking to adopt the ideas of other people. And I think that when this sextile to the Moon comes along to Virgo, we probably get some really good ideas about this concept of hygiene, which is cleaning out the body and the mind and your personal space, all of which enables you to take advantage of opportunities that could come your way. Okay, enough about that. Moving on to the Moon opposition Neptune, as well in the morning on Tuesday. With this one, we got the emotions working overtime. The tendency is to sacrifice your emotional needs in order to help somebody else. We're also easily deluded, and it's very easy to absorb other people's energy. We're very sensitive. But on a positive note for Tuesday, we've got Mercury trine Jupiter, and that will be 14 degrees of Cancer to 14 degrees of Scorpio. Well, with this one, the conscious mind expands. Lots of ideas, some very good ones. You can connect the dots and see the big picture. It's a good aspect for planning and for drafting and design and for drawing. The theme for this aspect is positive thinking and how you can use that to overcome some obstacles in your life. It may have a profound effect upon you, especially if you have some natal planets close by. It can help make some beneficial connections with others. Meet someone who could help you succeed in some way, help you expand your life, make a change for the better, especially in your home. The voice is louder at this time, projects farther. It's a good time to make a speech or a public announcement. Overall, a good day for communication. In these signs, you can communicate your intimate feelings or matters of great importance to you. Very honest and sincere sharing of thoughts and emotions. That's Cancer to Scorpio trine. It incites noble and judicious behavior. Jupiter does that, especially at the trines. It could be very lucky for some folks. At the recent passage of Venus at this place, you know, I made some really good connections with like-minded souls when Venus was at this grand trine point just recently. So I think it has kind of a magical or serendipitous quality to it. And things like that can happen now with these grand trine in water signs, the trinity of the soul. So we get these soul connections can be made, which can help you fulfill your destiny, your soul purpose. Very nice. And really great that all this is happening right around the summer solstice. So I think a lot of this energy that we're getting here carries forth into the chart for the summer solstice. And finishing up on Tuesday in the early afternoon, we've got the moon trine Pluto. Once again, a wonderful trine from Virgo to Capricorn. Skillful use of resources enables you to make material gains. Moving along to Wednesday, June the 20th, we start in the early morning with Moon square Sun, the first quarter moon, Virgo to Gemini. The usual crisis for fulfillment at this time. Feel a bit inflexible as we need to stay focused and lay the foundation or pour the concrete for this month's growth. That's why we feel a bit inflexible. Crisis to be true to yourself and get your needs fulfilled. It brings some tension and potential for conflict. The square from Virgo to Gemini. Lots of details about many things. Easy to get overwhelmed. Take things to extremes. Hard to know when to stop. Easy to waste time on things that get you nowhere. Judgmental. Overly concerned with the details. Both signs are ruled by Mercury, so the conscious mind is working overtime here. Lots of questions. We're very rational. Not at all abstract or whimsical. Demand others see the same details as you, and that creates conflict, particularly with siblings or at work. Also, there may be much discussion and concern about health issues. Also, use caution while driving, and avoid, of course, begins. It's short. Still in the morning, the moon enters Libra on Wednesday, so we're a bit more diplomatic for the next couple of days. We're more in need of relationship and one-to-one contact. We're more harmonious and willing to listen. Relationships tend to do better at this time. It's eventful for the moon in Libra with 3 squares to Cancer and Capricorn, the trine to Mars, and of course the summer solstice, which features the Venus opposition Mars aspect. So lots of opportunities for one-to-one interactions over the next couple of days. And for gardeners, the moon in Libra is a good time to plant ornamental flowers. The soil is moist and it's considered somewhat productive, although not the best time like the water signs. And then we've got a moon square Saturn in the afternoon on Wednesday. That one makes us inflexible, hard to find agreement with others, especially if there is a difference in status between you. Secrets are revealed. As well, it slows down the digestion. And then later in the evening, moon sextile Venus, much more pleasant. Feeling amorous, very romantic. Good time to be with your partner, have some fun. And then later in the evening, Mercury trine Neptune. This is another Cancer to Pisces trine. It's the most sensitive trine of them all. We're very open to feeling what other people are feeling, as well as an ability to influence others with our own emotions and feelings. Easy to absorb other people's thoughts and feelings, as well as to project your own thoughts and feelings onto others. Generally, you may feel a desire to let the conscious mind move beyond the rational and into the non-material realm, feeling very receptive, able to intuit things rather than rely on rational reasoning. In conversations, feelings may count more than the facts. Very open to psychic or subtle impressions, as well as spiritual teachers who could have some positive effect on your personal growth today. You might want to seek sanctuary where bad influences won't disturb you. Seek guidance either through a spiritual teacher or through your own direct divine connection. We're more open to telepathy and spirit-to-spirit communication, as well as connecting with nature spirits and elementals. But like all Neptune transits, even though it's a trine, aspects, we're easily deluded despite the trine, but wonderful time to delve into the fantasy and explore the non-material realm. It's a good time for writing poetry and creating artwork, which is sure to reflect your soul under this influence. And I should call out, this one will be 16 degrees of Cancer to 16 degrees of Pisces. And then late in the evening on Wednesday, we've got the moon trine Mars. Jolt of energy, good for physical exercise. Feel the fresh air in those air signs, Libra to Aquarius. Gives us a sharp mind, intellect, able to work within the group. Get along well with others. Our egos mesh well with others. Okay, moving along to Thursday, the 21st. In the morning, Sun enters Cancer, and that's the summer solstice, the start of the summer, and the aspects carry forth for the next 3 months. When the Sun enters Cancer, it enters its death cycle because it rules Leo. So it's the last step in the 12-step process that begins with Leo. At this time, our creative energy is focused in the home environment or inner world where nurturing happens, not in the outer world of your job and reputation. Hence, it may seem like your projects in the outer world are falling away now, going through a down cycle, because more concern is being placed in how we live our lives rather than what we do for a living. So we're not so concerned about standing and reputation. Personal happiness and contentment are more important now than outer world success. The Sun rules play and recreation, and Cancer is our connection to family and our roots. So naturally, we want to recreate with the family, feeling greater loyalty to family and to community as well. So the aspects at the summer solstice include the wonderful Mercury grand trine, which I've gone over, Venus opposition Mars, Sun sextile Uranus, as well as Mercury opposition Pluto. So there's a lot of planetary activity around the time of the solstice. The Mercury grand trine brings us a soulful homecoming this season, a time of endings, healing and reconciliation, healing mental wounds. And the Venus opposition Mars means relationships are very much in season this summer. And the Sun sextile Uranus means it's a time to make new friends and associates. And the Mercury opposition Pluto will bring some final confrontations and resolutions. In politics, ruled by Mercury, it's a season of dissolving away old differences and coming to terms with people who you disagree with. Overall, I'd say a great set of aspects to start the summer season. So let's talk about this one here, Venus opposition Mars. And this one will be about 9 degrees of Leo to 9 degrees of Aquarius. As you might imagine, with Venus as the female symbol and Mars as the male symbol, this aspect tends to bring women and men together. Strong attraction to members of the opposite sex. But there's a lot of aggression as well, so it also creates tension and conflict. But the thing is, you really cannot suppress the energy coming out of you at this time, so you need to find an outlet, and your partner is the most likely target. In general, the opposition brings confrontation, and with these two planets, it's really symbolic of the opposition aspect itself. After all, we talk about aspects in terms of how they relate to the ascendant. We say that squares are Cancer, Capricorn aspects, or trines are Leo, Sagittarius aspects. Well, an opposition is really a Venus aspect, and it's kind of formed on this whole basis of Mars opposition Venus or Aries opposition Libra. So it's kind of the quintessential opposition as I see it. And it's kind of like I say, founded on this relationship between Aries, Mars, and Libra, Venus. We're more assertive towards what we like or whatever pleases us. May not be too concerned about what other people think or feel. We're more of a desire to fill your own desires. More focused on yourself. May not be too concerned about the rights of others. And that's a quality of Aries. Very good for romance and creative activities, as well as art and leisure. We're looking to express the unique side of ourselves, and we're dramatic about it. It should be a good aspect for relationships. And concurrent with the solstice, This is actually the closest aspect to the solstice. So it's really the strongest one. And for sure it's going to be holding true for the next 3 months. It's a time to get out there and make a relationship happen if that's what's missing in your life. It brings a stronger than usual physical attraction to potential partners. And Venus in Leo really likes to dress up and look their best. So there's lots of concern about physical appearance, desire to attract a partner. So I say it looks like partnership is in season this summer. As well, because the moon is in Libra. And we've got a little square to Mercury going in the afternoon. And that one, emotions and past memories, could interfere with normal communication. Feeling kind of melancholy and inflexible. And that's the square from Libra to Cancer. And then another square, moon square Pluto. This one in the early evening brings a strong burst of energy to get a lot accomplished. But folks are uneasy, worried about what they're not getting, what emotional fulfillment they're not getting from the world. Secrets can be revealed. You want to avoid emotional entanglements or getting caught up in other people's drama. And then avoid, of course, begins and continues until about midday tomorrow. And that'll be Friday, the 22nd. Around midday, moon enters Scorpio. So we're a bit more sensitive and moody for the next couple of days. Scorpio makes us go deep, but it's dark down there and we sometimes get paranoid, thinking others want to subvert you or control you. It's a time of emotional repair and regeneration, so you want to avoid negative emotions and avoid getting caught up in other people's drama. Good for spending time at home, fixing whatever needs to be fixed. And for gardeners, the moon in Scorpio is moist and considered a very productive time for planting, especially vines. And there, I fixed that. I should say the soil is moist at this time. It always is when the moon is in the water signs. Always a good time for planting. And then in the early afternoon on Friday, we've got the always creative moon trine sun. And with Cancer to Scorpio, you're able to share your intimate feelings with another. And then a little later, we've got the moon opposition Uranus, feeling rebellious and independent, very intelligent and able to think and do things on your own. We're more resourceful and able to find new ways of getting what you need because the moon's in Scorpio. Causes disruptions as folks are agitated and restless, not dependable. Might just decide to change their mind on something. So you need to find your own way at this time and don't depend on others. And then later in the evening on Friday, which should really make Friday night activities rather interesting, we've got the Sun sextile Uranus. And that'll be 1 degree of Cancer to 1 degree of Taurus. So after Venus and Mercury recently made their sextile to Uranus, now we've got the Sun making this wonderful aspect. Certainly no better aspect to make new friends and associates. Brings a progressive outlook to your life. You feel like life has more possibilities today, open to things you've missed or just usually overlooked. Today they seem more attractive. So we're more interested in the unusual or things that are different than us. We're more accepting of others. We see the intrinsic value in everyone. We're more in tune with the group or the collective. Good at working in a group, able to sense the group's needs, and work with others towards a common goal. In Cancer, you may decide to change your diet, get rid of something that is not good for you, doesn't agree with your stomach. Or you may be open to eating things out of the norm, desire to try something different. It may also bring some constructive changes to your relationships with women, and women in particular may find this aspect to be very liberating. Because after all, Taurus and Cancer tend to be more feminine signs. So it could bring some interesting changes to your day, some excitement, Sun sextile Uranus, especially in the evening on Friday. And then finishing up on Friday, we've got the moon sextile Saturn. Late in the evening, intense feelings put to good use, lots of stamina, makes us very resourceful, good at making do with what you have. Okay, moving along to Saturday, the 23rd. We start early in the morning with the Mercury opposition Pluto. And this one will be in effect on Friday evening as well, I should mention. And this will be 20 degrees of Cancer to 20 degrees of Capricorn. Aspect has a strong effect on our communications. It could bring some intense encounters, powerful exchange of words. Pluto is all or nothing, so you may not say much or you may say a lot. Could cause disruptions. Aspect makes us very aware of the power of our words, how they affect others, and how we can use them to our advantage. Premeditate, sort of like a criminal. Everything you say and what you're thinking about. You've got lots of thoughts going on in your head. Always trying to think ahead, outguess the other person. It can take its toll. It makes you paranoid and vindictive if you don't get your own way. But it brings lots of mental stamina, ability to make important decisions in your life, willingness to cut through all the baggage and deceptions and do what is right. Help you stand up in the world, because it's Cancer to Capricorn. So your reputation is going to be at stake as well with what you say. It makes people ruthless, but also gives us incredible courage. Both come in large amounts today with this aspect. Better than usual ability to stand up for yourself and rise to the occasion against anyone who's trying to control you or steal your power. Also could bring about volatile confrontations. And of course, Mercury rules driving, so driving accidents. So use caution while driving or operating dangerous machinery. Mercury rules siblings, so this aspect could bring confrontations with them. With Mercury in Cancer, you feel what you have to say is very important. Your life plan or your goals in life are front and center in your conscious mind today. If you feel that others have unfairly deprived you of the opportunity or resources that you need to make your life work the way you want it to, then at this aspect, you may lash out against those who control you or restrict you. In this way, it could bring confrontations with authority figures and with parents. Using this energy wisely, and you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to today. It's not your typical relaxing Saturday, although this is happening fairly early in the morning, and I've noticed that the Mercury aspects don't actually last for a full day. They're more like 12 to 18 hours at the most. So this is happening exactly 2:30 about 2:24 in the morning Pacific time. So it'll be actually more in effect on Friday evening for those of us at this time zone. So I just wanted to put that out there, not your typical time of day. And you'll have a real strong burst of energy during this time and sets people charging ahead. Just be mindful of the rights of others and be sure that what you're doing is not deceptive or, stealing power from others. You always want to use Pluto energy for the good of yourself as well as for the good of others. It's an important element of using the Pluto energy. But otherwise, it can be very productive and you can really accomplish whatever you set your mind to today. And this aspect at the start of the summer season, I think, carries forth, and this kind of energy, this confrontational energy, standing up for yourself and being aware of the power of your words is going to carry forth for a while. And continuing with the aspects on Saturday, in the morning, still we've got the moon square Mars. This one's going to have us feeling a bit restless and agitated. Again, could bring confrontations, especially with the Mercury opposition Pluto. You want to avoid other people's drama and try to contain your own. And then later in the morning, moon square Venus. Not a good time for social gatherings. Feeling a bit selfish with yourself and demanding of your partner's time. But then later in the afternoon, the always jovial moon conjunct Jupiter. A stark contrast to the previous moon aspects. This one really expands the emotions. Like I say, has us feeling jovial, which is a verb that actually is synonymous with Jupiter. Really want to be with others, share yourself with others. very inspired, generous, forgiving attitude. More in touch with your innate abilities. As well, Jupiter is concerned with, our cosmic connection. So sometimes you get cosmic insights, and you get very philosophical at this aspect. And then later in the evening, the moon trine Neptune. This one is Scorpio to Pisces. Water signs, feeling very soulful, not aggressive, able to tune into others and sense what they are feeling, or more psychic, lots of warmth and compassion. And then moving along to Sunday, starting early in the morning, we've got the moon in Scorpio, sextile Pluto. That's a lot of Scorpio energy. Brings up deep feelings and emotions. It's a good time for intentional body movement. If you can break through that stubborn energy that you get sometimes with Pluto, because it's kind of all or nothing, and just move your body and do this intentional body movement like yoga with a healing intent, a Scorpio intent, it can be very productive. And then moving along with the moon trine Mercury, also in the morning on Sunday, able to share your intimate feelings with your partner. Good time for a heart-to-heart conversation. More in touch with your instincts and able to sense energy. And then a void, of course, begins in the morning and it continues until the evening, well past sunset. So Sunday is really a day to relax and reflect, not a day to start new projects. And then later in the evening, the moon enters Sagittarius. So we're more optimistic and looking to expand for the next couple of days. More spontaneous, don't need a reason. Grant yourself license, just do it. And for gardeners, the moon in Sagittarius is a dry time, not a good time to plant. Best to do weeding so plants can grow better. Well, that's it for this week's aspects. Okay, moving on to some interesting stories. I continue to remain interested in this Nemesis Nibiru system. I got another picture I grabbed off a YouTube video. This is one of the many amazing images you will find on YouTube concerning this topic. A couple of things I really want to point out to my viewers. First of all, there's a lot of fear and misinformation surrounding this issue. It is steeped in esoteric knowledge and biblical prophecy. Even like the Hopi Blue Star Kachina prophecies. There's a lot of them. There's lots of rabbit holes you can get lost in, and I really want to help my viewers avoid those pitfalls. So the first thing to understand is that this system has a roughly 3,600-year orbit around our sun. And although it always causes significant events, such as earthquakes and volcanoes, it's never destroyed Earth in the past, obviously, so there's no reason to believe that that's going to happen this time. I say this because even some of the straightforward research on videos that I have shared with you, I've left links in the related links section of my video. I've shared with you some of these videos, and at the end of them, there's like a prophetic warning to come to God or get right with God because the earth is coming to an end. Now while I agree that loving God is central to one's spiritual life, I just want to let my viewers know that I'm not a doomsday believer. In fact, the tagline on my website, tomsocalm.com, is preparing for the calm to come, which is a direct contradiction to all the fear-mongering and the people who think the world's going to go away. I think the exact opposite. Something is going to calm us all down as we all come to a universal understanding. So my goal is to track the movements of the planets in our solar system and note the synchronicity with events on Earth and events in our personal lives. And this is clearly the biggest event happening in our solar system right now. So I thought, I got to mention it. Now, it takes a while to wrap your head around all this amazing information that you discover if you decide to research this topic. And the first is the chemtrails. And those create a haze, which make it very difficult to see the planets in the Nemesis Nibiru system. And believe it or not, there's a growing body of rational scientific evidence, observations I should say, that there is an artificial sun simulator that has been placed in Earth's upper atmosphere to mask events happening on our sun, and in particular this system. Even if you just go to YouTube and type artificial sun simulator, you'll see plenty of videos that talk about this and why it could be put up there. So I understand this is really far out, but I only do this to prepare you for the onslaught of information that you will inevitably come across while researching this topic. And my goal at this point is to provide this information as a backdrop for a discussion on the psychological effects that we all must be feeling by this Nemesis Nibiru system. And my enthusiasm is to share this amazing information with you all. And my intuition tells me that the effects of this system will be impossible to mask completely in the near future. Although they've done a very good job of masking it so far, there's a lot of things yet to happen that I don't think they're going to be able to control. So let us consider that what we all may be feeling now, and how it may be a direct result of this incoming system. I think I'm feeling it in my nervous system, and I think I've been feeling it for a number of years now. And it's been around since like 2011, 2012. And I think that this system may very well be the reason why there's so much psychological upheaval happening now in the world, and why we can't seem to get on the same page in reality, because it's like we're living in two different realities. So please check out some of the links that I'm leaving for you to follow, and share your insights in the comments section. Okay, so that's it for the Nibiru. Now on to some more mundane topics. We had a couple of high-profile suicides this week, and I got to looking at them and studying them. One of them was Kate Spade. She's a famous designer. She apparently committed suicide on June the 5th, and I thought, okay, well, what's going on with her chart? So I ran her chart, and I noticed that the moon's nodes here, 1 degree Aquarius to 1 degree Leo, were getting an exact square from Uranus at the time. So it was Uranus squaring the moon's nodes. Now, I don't think that's quite the transit you might expect for this kind of thing. But if you look at her natal chart, you'll see that she's got a T-square, and her natal Uranus opposition Jupiter and Chiron. You'll see this. She's got natally Uranus at 5 degrees Virgo. It opposes Chiron and Jupiter at 6 and 7 degrees of Pisces. And all of that squares her moon very closely at 6 degrees Sagittarius. So that's a T-square with the moon getting squared from both sides. So this is the source of so much of her talent, as well as her emotional fragility. People with Uranus-Moon connections do well in industries related to women, as she has. She's the designer. But that's an enormous amount of pressure on the moon, which craves stability, not change. So that would account for her bipolar condition. The moon gets no rest when the opposition here, Uranus to Jupiter, is out of balance, which is much of the time due to the dynamic transpersonal nature of the planets involved. So it's very difficult to ever feel emotionally secure in life. Yet this dynamic combination is what kept her life continuously moving and evolving, and gave her the smarts necessary to be successful in business. Now, when Uranus made a square to the moon's nodes, highlights the fragility caused by the natal T-square, especially moon square Uranus, and how this transit set her off balance so much that she decided to do what she did. But I never think I have all the information. There's always some potential for another story behind it, such as with the other celebrity suicide this week, Anthony Bourdain's celebrity chef. But why? Unlike the previous, I'm kind of going down a little rabbit hole with this one. It sounds suspicious. His girlfriend, Asia Argento, is an actress who is one of Harvey Weinstein's main accusers. In fact, her speech railing him at Cannes last year was amazing. I'll leave a link to that. And it's rumored that Bourdain himself was aware of a lot of stuff like child sex trafficking operations, and he was about to expose some of that. I'll leave some links here in the description. So unlike Kate Spade, there's a lot of intrigue going on around his death. So looking at his transits, Uranus, once again, in this case, Uranus is squaring his moon and natal Uranus. You'll see here currently at 1 degree Taurus, his natal Uranus at 0 degrees Leo, and we don't have his exact birth time, but it's probably really close, knowing the guy and what his personality is like. I wouldn't be surprised if his moon was closer to 1 degree 11 minutes of Aquarius, getting a square from Uranus right on that day. And the Uranus square Uranus transit means he's really concerned about his legacy and how he's going to be remembered and what he's doing for the rest of humanity. So I could see him getting really caught up in a social movement, such as exposing these pedophiles. In addition, his progressed moon, I took a look at his progression, was right there at 1 degree Taurus in the middle of all that. So it was conjuncting, transiting Uranus as well. So that just adds more to the Uranus-Moon connections. And I think it's just kind of interesting that both high-profile suicides this week have similar quality transits. I mean, it's Uranus square the Moon or the Moon's nodes. Not entirely sure what to make of it. Thinking about how this had maybe something to do with Uranus and Taurus, but I'm not really sure. Please leave me some comments and let me know what you think. Okay, moving along next to Hillary Clinton. While I was traveling down the rabbit hole of the alleged connection between her and Bourdain's death, I noticed this past week she's getting Jupiter square Pluto. See here, Jupiter at 14 degrees of Scorpio is squaring her Pluto and her Mars. And there's going to be a second and third pass coming up really soon because Jupiter goes direct at 1329. So all of these Jupiter squares here really bringing out her innate ruthless behavior. I think it's also bringing judicial action against her, especially since it's Jupiter squaring planets in the 9th house. So she's very ambitious now and liable to do something even more audacious than usual, like knock off a high-profile guy like Bourdain. This could be a really disruptive time for her, lots of legal challenges. The current concurrent, I should say, Neptune trine Venus, it's probably making her a bit delusional. It's not really helping out. Kind of a romantic transit. It's really nice for someone like you or I, but for her, I don't think it's making much of a difference. What I'm really tuning in on here is this Uranus opposition Sun. Really anticipating this. It starts next month, and it'll be on July the 14th, and then Uranus quickly goes retrograde. So basically, starting next month and all through the month of August, she's going to be getting Uranus opposition Sun. It's going to be really disruptive. Now this one could bring a lot of changes to her life, the likes of which we have not seen in the past. And Uranus loves to bring things to the light. And of course, Scorpio is things done in the dark. So this could bring to light things that she's done in the past. Concurrent with the Jupiter transits, it could mean a lot of, well, it could be the end for her. You know, she might actually face charges this time. Something might get revealed about her that finally destroys her reputation. So, as most of my viewers know, I've been watching and waiting for her demise for a long time. So I'm definitely going to be keeping her on my radar as this Uranus opposition Sun transit comes along. I'll keep you up to date. So that's all for this week. Thank you to my supporters, and you can check out my website, tomsocalm.com, or follow me on my Twitter feed at TomJordan364. And as you may have guessed, I'm an astrologer, so please contact me if you're interested in a natal or transit reading. I'm also a Reiki master, and if you're interested in a long-distance Reiki healing or a psychic reading, please contact me at mobilestar7@yahoo.com. So that's all for this week for Weekly Astrology Notes. Once again, thanks for viewing, liking, and sharing my video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Many blessings, and have a great day.